Hello, everyone. Just a quick note from the editor. The audio quality on this episode is not the best, so we do apologize. However, next episode should be better. Please note, Twilight Tonight is not spoiler free.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I'm Bia,
I'm Katie.
live from Katie's living room. It's Twilight tonight. Bow, 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 bow.
Are we gonna get copyrighted for that?
Do you think so? Okay, no, serious question. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been um,
Month? Like
months,
maybe like almost like 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months since last recording. Um,
We've been busy.
mhm,
It was summertime
It was summertime,
for
so we
six
were
to eight
busy
months.
being being summer girls. 6 to 8 months of summer.
But now it's Twilight season. It's fall.
Facts.
And we're back and better than ever.
Bow, 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 bow. As they
Bia's
say.
been texting me that like ominously, like okay, we have to record again.
It has. I feel like I'm I'm ready to be first and say, yeah, let's record. But am I gonna do it? Am I even gonna read the chapter? Well, I read it last night, so here we are.
And I read it this morning.
Let's go.
Reread it.
Of
We took
course.
notes 6 to 8 months ago.
I think I think
So,
even further before, maybe even a year ago.
hey,
It's
it
been
is
a
what
long
it
time
is.
coming, Rome wasn't built in a day,
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
and
Bia's also been saying that a lot.
mm, hmm
But we're here for chapter 2, open book.
open book.
Um, Maybe like one of the most boring chapters in the book. Like
Yeah,
most of it, and then it gets a little exciting at the end.
it was pretty slow. A lot of the previous tabs that I had written and pasted in this book just said boring, and back to boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, we start out page 29. Bella is saying that, she now remembers the people's names that she goes to school with, which I said, maybe she's not as big of a bitch as we initially thought, maybe.
I mean, last episode we definitely ragged on her. She was mean. There's a quote on page 31, 2 pages later. she goes, she's talking about Mike, and he goes, or she goes, then he smiled at me wistfully and went to sit by a girl with braces and a bad perm. And I underlined that and I said, mean. That is mean.
It is so funny that you mentioned that because in my notes I also highlighted braces with a bad perm and said, okay, maybe she is a bitch. So we were on the exact
But
same
also,
page
like,
there.
maybe, like, she's a little funny.
I think she is very
Because
funny.
if we got a little bit of this personality in the movie, I feel like, I don't know,
It would have, I feel like honestly it would have been,
more exciting.
yeah, more exciting and maybe closer to a comedy even.
She does crack me up, but like,
She,
but
she's
that is,
silly.
it's like needlessly mean. Like, we don't even know who this girl is. Like, what did she ever do to you? Who cares about her bad perm?
Oh,
Um,
poor girl with
but
bad
also
perm.
so like early 2000s. I feel like people are not getting perms now. I think that's not really a
Yeah,
thing.
I
Not that
don't
I know
know.
of.
I don't know anybody who's been getting perms, but I you
Drop
know
it down in
what?
the comments below. Have you gotten a perm in the last 5 to 10 years?
I think there's also a trend with like young boys getting perms, so that they can
Broccoli
have like
head.
the broccoli head. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Do you think the sirens that just passed will be
So loud. Guys, we're in the city.
mm, great big beautiful city of Boston?
But yeah, okay, back to the book.
Yes.
Bia, I just said Bia. Bella, sorry, that's gonna happen a lot. Bella's in school and she realizes that, during lunch, a certain someone, Mr. Edward Cullen,
Didn't come.
not there. After his weird ass interaction with her the week before. So she's like, what? is this my fault?
Yeah, and she says it's ridiculous and egotistical to think that she could affect anyone that strongly. That's one of the quotes that she has in page 31. And um it's it's just funny how she keeps talking about it throughout the chapter, saying like there's no way that it's me, right?
Well, it's so interesting because, like, I feel like Bella, the character, is so insecure, but the way that Stephenie Meyer writes her, I'm sometimes like, it's like main characters of like, oh, everyone thinks she's so beautiful. Oh, she's
Yeah.
so smart. She takes AP class. Like, there's just so many moments where I'm like, okay, like, oh, okay. But then also, Bella, the character, is so insecure. You know what I mean?
Yes, Bella the character is insecure. And I feel like the her being the center of attention, I don't know, it seemed to sort of wear off in the movie, but maybe I'm re I don't know, I'm getting ahead
I
of
have this
myself.
issue in books with, and just like stuff in general, media in general. Like, I know that there is a main character in every book and every movie. Obviously, there's a main character, and the story is centered around main characters. But sometimes I get annoyed because I'm like, not everyone fucking like the way that some books are written. I think it's just poor writing, and it just makes me mad. I'm just like annoyed at the main character most of the time because I'm just like, oh, not everyone fucking cares about you. Like, you're not so special. And like, I think, look, I think it's doesn't always come from a good place. Like, it's like probably like you look into it, it's a little misogynistic if we're being honest.
There's, everyone has their issues.
But I just think sometimes it's like the writing, and it is
No.
stuff like we all know that Stephenie Meyer, she wrote a great story, but it's not always the best
The
writing.
film adaptation, I think, really carried this series so much. Um,
For us,
for us, at least, I don't know. I
at
really
least.
like I'm obsessed. Yeah.
But anyway, that's my rant. I think sometimes I have a problem with the main characters in books. But anyway, she notices that he's not there, but then she goes home and she realizes that Charlie can't fucking cook. Like, he
Yeah.
can only cook what does she say? Page 31. Last night I discovered that Charlie couldn't cook much besides fried eggs and bacon.
And she says that she's gonna start cooking.
Taking
Because
over
yeah,
kitchen duties.
she's gonna take over kitchen duties, kitchen detail for the duration of my stay, is what she says. And I thought that was a funny way to put it. Like she still sees this time in Forks as so temporary. But I mean, I
I
guess
mean,
like,
she
she's
fucking hated it. She hated
yeah,
every moment. She was like, I don't want to be here. Like, I feel like the whole first chapter, she was like, I hate the rain.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
And
So,
now we get a little more of that in this chapter because
yeah.
yeah.
But again, she goes to the grocery store. She kind of is handling that. And, you know, I want to make note that Bella, with her mother, paid the bills.
Mhm.
She was like, I don't say she wasn't the breadwinner, but she was just like the organized person. She was the type A person in their life and was handling all the shit that a teenager shouldn't have been handling.
Yeah.
And now she's fucking cooking dinner for her grown father. And I'm just like, okay, give this girl a break. And then she had to clean the dishes herself.
Yeah. He cleared the table and she started doing the dishes and then he just sat down in front of the TV like, okay, cool. Like this is gonna be the pattern and it's just
And look, I don't want to speculate too hard, but I feel like Bella doesn't complain about it that much. She's just like,
no.
okay.
Honestly, she said that she liked going to the grocery store and she felt like it was a safe and familiar place that she could almost escape Forks for a second because it's just, a grocery store.
Yeah, I get that. I just feel like she never, I feel like she's not complaining. She's complaining about all the stuff that I wouldn't be complaining about. Like, I'd be
Yeah.
complaining about having to fucking cook dinner for my father. But I feel like my speculation here is that Stephenie Meyer, as we know, Mormon background, a
Mm.
little bit religious, and typically in those more conservative, and like this whole fucking book is a virginity story, basically. So,
Yeah, yeah.
like, I just feel like in where she grew up, it was so normal for the moms and the daughters to take care of the sons and the fathers.
Exactly.
And so I just feel like she didn't make Bella feel like it was a big deal because she probably didn't think it was that big of a deal back in 2003 or whenever she started writing this. So
I mean,
that's my
even
speculation.
now, I feel like it's very topical. Secret Lives of
Dread
Mormon Wives
Wives.
just came out. You know, I've been watching a little bit of
You're gonna edit this, and it's gonna come out
that.
2 years after Secret Lives of Mormon Wives came out. We can't talk about anything in the news.
The election, am
I
I
was
right?
gonna say we all know when this comes out, everyone's gonna know who's president. Oh,
Oh
that's
my
scary. Okay.
gosh. Wow, very scary.
Okay.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Um, yeah, no.
Okay, so she's cooking dinner. She's
And
okay with it, basically.
page 32, I
Okay.
wanted to make a quick note that she's driving away from school to go to the grocery store, and she said that about the Cullens, it seemed excessive for them to have both looks and money, but as far as I could tell, life worked that way most of the time. It didn't look as if it brought them any acceptance here. Um,
I underlined that and said, so true to the, it seems excessive for them to have both looks and money.
yes, and
Agreed.
it does seem excessive, but then I also like I've always obviously fantasized about being a vampire because of this like story, okay?
Classic.
And uh this just made me think like you have hundreds of years, or at least like twice as long as most people have, to gather all of this money and also all of the clothes from like the best
Oh,
eras. And I just sat
they're
there
just
for a second,
hot.
like they're just so hot.
They also probably like don't, well, I guess they have hair. I was gonna say they don't grow body hair, but they probably do. I don't know.
I don't think they do
Like
have body
body hair, but
hair.
they have hair.
I don't know if they, yeah, they have hair.
I don't know. They
Uh,
have eyebrows. They have good hair. They have none of bad hair,
they
it
look
seems like. But also, they're
perfect.
like movie stars in the movies.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway,
um,
they're hot, and it's not fair. But then I feel like you said she's okay. You said it didn't look as if it bought them any acceptance. And the next line is, no, I didn't fully believe that. The isolation must be their desire. I couldn't imagine any door that wouldn't be opened in by that degree of beauty.
you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty privileged. Bella knew.
pretty privilege, and eh, I mean their beauty is like
Radiating.
it is. It's like
Sparkly.
it's inhuman. So yeah.
Okay, but I'm moving on to her mother again.
Yes.
Um, she gets 3 emails from her mom. Do you want to read the first one?
Yes. Bella, my mom wrote, write me as soon as you get in. Tell me how your flight was. Is it raining? I miss you already. I'm almost finished packing for Florida, but I can't find my pink blouse. Do you know where it is? Phil says hi. Mom.
So even from thousands of miles away, I don't know, hundreds of miles, however far away, she is asking Bella where her fucking blouse is.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, look, I was always asking my mom where shit was. It should be the opposite. It should not. So anyway, Bella, the next one from her mother. Bella, she wrote, why haven't you emailed me yet? What are you waiting for, Mom? That was 8 hours after the first.
Which she was at school. And or sleeping. And then the final email that she receives from her mom came the morning of school. Isabella, if I haven't heard from you by 5:30 p.m. today, I'm calling Charlie.
Isabella? Damn, okay. She pulled out that full name. Okay, so she had an hour to go. She said, Mom, calm down. I'm writing right now. Don't do anything rash. Bella. And then she went on a spiel. I feel like, do you want to read the whole thing or should we just give them
Yeah,
the
I
spark
mean,
notes?
let's see. She says, everything's great. Of course it's raining. I was waiting for something to write about. School isn't bad, just a little repetitive. I met some nice kids who sit by me at lunch.
And she fucking hates them.
I mean, yeah, she has nothing good to say about these guys so far. Your blouse is at the dry cleaners. You were supposed to pick it up Friday. So, just like the fact that Bella knew, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like
Just
this,
a recurring pattern.
yeah, it's a recurring pattern that is just disappointing. Um, she tells her mom about the truck, and she goes, "Can you believe it? I love it. It's old, but really sturdy, which is good, for me."
Because she's clumsy, remember?
Can you believe it? And then I don't know. She says that she'll write soon, and she says, "Relax, breathe. I love you, Bella."
Better. And then I feel like just another one of her like main character moments that annoyed me, which again,
Maybe it's
it's
internalized
complex there.
misogyny. I don't
I've decided to read Wuthering Heights, the novel we were currently studying English, yet again for the fun of it. I read that weird.
know. No, that's how I read it. Also, it's broken up sort of weird,
Basically, she read the book already and she's just being annoying about it.
and it's not just a book; it's the novel.
The novel. Oh, sorry.
Uh,
But I don't know, nothing really good there. It's just like fucking Charlie asking what's for dinner.
oh my God! Wait, I'm actually just reading my notes. And I noted the same thing. I had decided to read Wuthering Heights, the novel, blah blah blah. Smart girl Bella annoys me, but maybe that is misogyny.
That's what I added that. That was
Oh.
me. Sorry, I added
Oh.
that.
Wait, that's so funny. That makes more sense. I was like, I don't remember writing this. That's funny.
I added that's like the one thing I added because then I was like, I'm just gonna go back to the notes I already wrote because it was confusing me. Sorry, yeah, but
That's funny. Okay.
then she goes back to school. They're still not fucking there. Oh wait, no, she's talking to Charlie. No, sorry, never mind.
Oh yeah, she
Um,
she chats with Charlie, and it, he hangs up his gun belt, and she says, "When I came here as a child, he would always remove the bullets as soon as he walked in the door. I guess he considered me old enough now not to shoot myself by accident, and not depressed enough to shoot myself on purpose."
wait a year, girl.
Yeah, I thought she was funny for that.
They're talking about Mike. He's a nice guy. His dad owns a sporting goods store.
Yes.
And then she asks about the Cullen family, and he goes off on like a rant.
Yeah.
Because she goes, the kids, they're a little different. They don't seem to fit in very well at the school. And he looks at her angry.
Yeah.
And he's just like, should we say the whole rant? It's kind of
Oh my
long.
God, it is kind of
I feel
long.
like
I was
he's just like,
surprised.
Dr. Cullen's a great surgeon. He could work anywhere he wanted to. We're lucky to have him. The kids are well behaved. Like, we were worried because they were foster kids, which is like, okay,
I mean,
chill, first of all. Charlie Cullen. Or Charlie Swan.
Oh. Uh,
But yeah, he goes off.
yeah, he does go off. I was surprised when I was reading this out loud last night to my sister.
He also he kind of disses the kids in the town that's lived here forever. He's like, I haven't had one speck of trouble from any of the Cullen kids. That's more than I can say for the children of some folks who've lived in this town for generations.
Yes.
He's such a sheriff of a small town.
He
He knows
really is.
everyone. But yeah, she says it's the longest speech I've ever heard Charlie
And Bella said that they're, attractive, and Charlie says, "You should see the doctor."
make. Like all the nurses are flirting. Yeah, I mean he is beautiful. Like he's
Yes.
truly
I
beautiful.
think they did a fantastic job casting everybody.
But she kind of skips through the week. She goes, by Fridays, I was able to recognize, if not name, all the students at the school. Or almost all the students. That's crazy. There's like, what, 400? That's still a lot of students.
Yeah.
But then she says Edward Cullen didn't come back to school. She waited anxiously every day. He
No.
did not come back. She was comfortable. She was like, hell yeah, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
By Friday, she was happy about it. Sorry, I'm kind of skipping ahead. Let me
No,
know if there's
yeah, and
anything.
I'll just add La Push, baby.
Oh,
It's La Push.
they bring up La Push.
Yeah, and she says
2
that
weeks away.
beaches should be hot and dry. And as somebody who was born in Brazil but grew up in Boston and had to go to cold, like
Yeah.
gray sand beaches.
Yeah, Boston beaches suck. Sorry. I'm from South Carolina, and Carolina beaches
Hot and dry.
hot and dry.
So
They're sometimes kind of wet. A lot of rain.
Oh.
But yeah, she's so funny. I mean, in Arizona,
I mean, it's just
they're landlocked,
dry.
right?
I
They
think
have lakes,
so.
kind of.
But I
But
imagine, she's going to the nearby, like,
yeah, she
southern
visited
beaches.
California with Charlie growing
Yes,
up.
that's right.
Duh. Okay. People greeted her in the parking lot on Monday. She didn't know all their names, but I thought you said you could name almost everyone by name. Literally like a page ago. Another smart girl moment. At the bottom of page 38, we had a pop quiz on Wuthering Heights. It was straightforward, very easy. Shut up. There was a girl like that in my high school English class, and she used to be kind of annoying. Like, she was always like, she just was super smart. She read all the time, and I kind of resented her for it. At the end of the school year, she started helping me. I started
There
asking
you
her questions
go.
before the quizzes. She was like, "Oh yeah, boom, 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 boom," and I was like, "Thank you."
Eats.
So love her, but yeah,
There was a really weird sentence on page 38, and I don't know, I just wanted to bring it up
yeah.
because she said, I cleaned the house, got ahead of my homework, and wrote my mom more bogusly cheerful email.
Mm. Oh, singular email.
Singular email, and said more bogusly cheerful email.
I feel like well, think about it back then. It was email. They thought it like you wouldn't
Oh
say,
my
"Oh, I'm sending
gosh,
more mails to my
emails.
mom." You would say, "I'm sending more mail to my mom."
Oh my
So I'm
god,
sending
this is
more
like
email to
proper
my mom.
grammar, and I was just thinking that
Well,
it
I
was
think
like,
also it's to sign the times because I think
you're right.
nowadays people would write, "I was sending my mom more emails." At least I would. That's what I think
Yeah.
of it. But I guess it is just grammatically correct, but not like conversationally what people say.
Wow. Thank God that I mentioned that
That's
because,
I did not pick up on that when I read it. Wow.
wow, very interesting.
Okay, interesting. Moving on.
It is our grammar lesson for this episode. Last time we had vocab lessons. So, anyway, on page 40, it starts raining
Well,
snowing. And she's disappointed that the snowflakes are not
Mike says, "Wow, it's snowing," and she says, "Ew." There,
snow. There
snow.
went my good day.
Yeah, she just like is kind of like everyone's so cheerful and happy to be around her, and she's just like meh. Like she's just
Yeah.
like okay. She
Lots of people are throwing
said,
around snowball
mm,
fight or snowballs also, which Bella is terrified of, so she tries to get away as quickly as possible. I did have a question. Do you prefer snow or rain?
"That's a good question." In like, I'm gonna say snow. I'm gonna say snow
I
because
think I agree
rain,
with
it's
you.
just like cold rain. Because like in Boston, it's getting at least last winter it was awful. It rained only like, or it only snowed like one time,
Yeah.
and it was just cold rain the whole time. So I'm gonna say snow. At least I can like go sledding.
Yeah. I like the snow because even though rain is really peaceful to sleep through, like obviously it was raining last night,
It was
so it
really
was, oh my
nice.
gosh, it was so nice. But when you wake up and you see a bunch of snow outside, oh, that's a magical moment.
That really is. Definitely like childhood wonder. And I just again, Bella last chapter, she's like, I fucking hate rain. And now she's like, I
Yeah,
fucking hate snow. I'm like,
I
can
know.
you enjoy like some I feel like she doesn't like she's not enjoying the little things in life. Like
Bella.
in this time where you just move to your father's and like you hate all the big things in life, appreciate the beautiful fucking Washington mountains and the
Right?
forests. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
She's so the
Another main
beautiful like
character
cliffs,
moment.
yeah. But then she goes to lunch, and guess who's there? Guess who's there?
Oh my God.
Edward's there. There's 5 people at the Cullen slash Hale table, and we kind of get a touch of Edward's like mind reading in
Yes.
this scene because right when Jessica starts like talking with Bella about where is it? She starts talking about. I'm sorry,
Oh,
I can't
oh
find it.
yeah. So Bella is looking
The Cullens.
at the Cullens, and she's like,
They're
yeah,
laughing. They have
man, I
fucking
got lost
snow
too.
in their hair. I'm on
Yes,
page 41, kind of in the middle.
yes.
And right when Jessica says, Bella, what are you staring at? Edward fucking his eyes like flash over there because now he's fucking reading Jessica's mind.
Yeah,
Now.
because
And he
I'm sure
wasn't
Jessica
reading.
is thinking, oh my God, why is Bella staring at Edward?
Yeah, so definitely getting a taste of that, which I love. I always appreciate. Like one thing that Stephenie Meyer can do is some foreshadowing.
Yes.
Especially with all this like vampire stuff. She did that very well.
And I feel like it's pretty tasteful. Like, even though obviously we know what the story is, it's, if I didn't, it
When
would
I
be.
first read this, I remember being like, "Oh, he can read minds," So I feel
Exactly.
like it definitely worked. And we get a couple moments of that where he just like right when like Jessica will say like something, he'll like look over or his eyes will flash or whatever. That's a common phrase. His eyes flashed.
Yes.
I feel like I always do that.
And Bella said that she was looking at him from under her eyelashes.
Yeah, some
I
of
just
the
think
visuals.
some of the visual descriptions are very, what the fuck?
She also says, Jessica says, Edward's staring at you. Edward Cullen is staring at you. And then Bella says, he doesn't look angry, does he? Like, that's a weird question. Like, if I was Jessica, I'd be like, what the fuck? Why would he look angry? Because I don't know. Obviously, like, the moment in biology, but also, like, you don't fucking know that guy. Why would he be angry at you? Yeah, oh, no, she said, sounding confused by my question. Should he be? Okay, she was confused.
She was confused, and he was like, Bella says, I don't think he likes me.
Anyway, the Cullens don't like anybody. Well, they don't notice anybody enough. What? Wait.
They don't notice anybody enough to like them.
Sorry.
But he's still staring at you. Yeah. So she doesn't eat anything that day because she feels sick to her stomach.
She drinks a soda.
And she makes a little bet with herself. She says, "Oh, if he's still looking at me when I look at him, then I'm not going to go to biology. But if he's not looking at me, then I will go to biology." And he isn't looking at her when she takes another look. So
Yeah. And then they walk to. She says, I really didn't want to walk to class with Mike as usual. He seemed to be a popular target for the snowball snipers. When we went to the door, everyone besides me groaned in unison. It was raining, washing away all traces of the snow. Washing all traces of the snow away in clear icy ribbons down the side of the walkway. Whew, that was a mouthful.
wah.
Anyway, it started raining, and she was the only one happy about it because she's weird.
And she walks into the biology class, and the table was still empty, and she starts doodling on her notebook, and somebody pulls up a chair next to her, and he goes,
"Hello," said in a quiet, musical voice. We all know.
The
And I just want to
iconic
say,
scene.
I think that, actually, I'll say it afterwards. So this iconic scene. We know the scene, the bluest scene ever.
Oh my God, it's so blue. And I swear to God, I still hear his voice saying, "Hello,
I
my
mean,
name
absolutely.
is Edward Cullen."
I didn't have a chance to introduce myself last week. You must be Bella Swan. Also, his hair was dripping wet, which, like, I don't think his hair was dripping wet in the movie.
I don't think so.
Her mind was spinning with confusion. He was perfectly polite now. How do you know my name? I stammered. Oh, I think everyone knows your name.
The whole town's been waiting for you to arrive.
I highlighted that because I was like, that's hot. Like, this scene, like, I truly, like, he's flirting. Like, I was blushing at the end of this scene.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel like, okay, this is what I wanted to say. I feel like at the beginning of this chapter, I was like, why does she have, like, I understand that he was weird to her, and, like, I would definitely be thinking about that, but I'm like, why is she so fucking obsessed with him, like, already? Like, I know that this book moves so fast, I'm just like, oh my God, why? If he flirted with me like this,
oh my God,
I would be down.
He is so captivating, and
yeah.
Also his eyes keep changing colors, and she is, dark gold eyes. I looked up what it meant, obviously. Prosperity, value, dignity, worthy, and somber and conservative mood.
In this section, I didn't really elaborate on the connections that I made between the meaning of the color and how Edward might be feeling in this moment. He is probably feeling prosperous because, as you may know, vampires' eye color change depending on if they've recently feasted on somebody's blood or something's blood. So his eyes are golden. They're that golden color because he is feeling prosperous, because he has recently eaten and he no longer feels that incredible urge to just eat Bella. Well, he may, but in addition to that, he is feeling conservative because he's not trying to spill out of his secrets. He's really trying to keep his cards close to his chest. And at the same time, he is undeniably attracted to Bella and cannot control his attraction from her. So maybe he's feeling a little bit somber in that case because he can't really be with her, but he is still trying to get to know her in a conservative manner.
So I don't know, something to keep in mind. Nothing there really.
Just
Uh,
something to keep in
yeah,
mind. They have to do the lab. We all know that they kill it.
yeah, they do proface in yeah.
Prophase,
Um,
anaphase, interphase.
did you ever do this lab?
So, yes, I took biology one, and I do feel like I remember doing this lab.
That is very funny because I remember looking forward to going to high school so that I could do this lab. And then biology wasn't required, and I guess I didn't do biology.
What?
And
That feels
it's
wrong.
a little bit fucked up because physics was required, which
We had to do
is fine, but I feel like biology should have been required if you're gonna require only 3 years.
we had to do physical science, biology, and then chemistry. Those were our requireds. But hey, it is what it is. But he basically they do the flirty little like, do you mind if I look? Do you mind if I look?
And they
And
touch
then
hands, and
mm,
his fingers were ice cold. And I don't remember this being highlighted in the movie because it's highlighted later that he's ice cold, but um
there's an
she
electric.
yeah, she sort of brushes it off, and it's just sort of one of those winter things, like,
My hands get so cold in the winter.
and you get those little buzzes, you get that little zap.
She
So,
brushes it off, but then she also notices that it's like he's like avoiding touching her after that.
yeah.
So again, could just be nothing. They make it through the lab super quick, and then they just kind of get to chit chatting. She mentions, "Oh, I noticed that there was something different about your eyes,"
Yes.
and she says they're a strange ochre. I don't know how to say it, but I
I
looked
don't
it up, and
fucking
it's like a natural clay color, basically.
Oh.
So fancy way of saying like a terracotta color kind
Oh
of
my God, Minecraft. Um,
darker than butterscotch, but with the same golden tone. Sorry, what?
hmm. No, I wanted to add that while they were talking sort of about the weather, like he was asking her like if she liked snow, and she was like, "No, I'm glad the snow melted." She said, "I answered ominously instead of pretending to be like everyone else." And I thought that was really funny. It's
Wait,
on page
what?
47.
Dude, that is so funny.
He was
She's so funny. Oh my god, she's such a pick me. I'm sorry. That is a pick me line right there. That is crazy.
it was very
I did not
silly.
even pick up on that. That is so funny.
And then
He's
even
asking her. I mean, this is why the conversation really got me, and I was like, oh my god, I would be so like I would be crushing because he's asking her like personal questions because
yes,
he's a man. He's a hundred and fucking oh shit! I knocked my water over.
but you're right. He's a grown man, and also he can't. We know that he can't read her mind, and so he's trying to understand her, but at the same time, like, it is very attractive when somebody.
He's asking like good questions. He's not. Uh, he's asking good questions about her, and he understands.
Yeah, I actually, he kept almost in not even almost, he was inferring the answers because he was like, well, this is the most obvious
He's
answer.
trying to read her mind.
Yes, and she kept saying, "No, that's not right." Like she says that her mother got remarried, and he goes, "And you don't like him?" And she says, "No, Phil is fine. He's too young maybe, but nice enough," which I thought was a interesting comment that he's too
Yeah,
young.
it makes sense that Bella's mom would be dating a younger guy.
Yeah, I mean, she's sort of this crazy lady.
Oh, I do think it's funny. She says Phil travels a lot. He plays ball for a living. And he asks, have I heard of him? Probably not. He doesn't play well. Strictly minor league. He moves around a lot. And then another moment where she says no. He goes, and your mother sent you here so that she could travel with him? No, she did not send me here. I sent myself. I don't understand, he admitted, and he seemed unnecessarily frustrated by that fact. He's so mad that he
I
can't
mean,
read her
he's
mind.
had
He's so
hundreds of
mad.
years of reading people's minds.
He's so
He
pissed.
knows the
Yeah.
usual. And so the fact that he's unable to, one, read her mind, but also can't even guess based on his hundreds of years of experience is
She'd
crazy.
be cat. And I think another thing that is always confusing in the movies because they push, for some reason they had Bella be kind of a little boring in the movies, I
Yeah, she
feel
was a
like.
little boring.
And I feel like in this, she's got like more spunk and more personality.
Spunk.
And I think, I guess in the movies, they really wanted to stress the fact that it's like, oh, her blood, her special like
Her special
thing. She's so
blood.
special because of that. But I also feel like it is captivating. Like, I get why he was like so obsessed with her because I'd be like, I gotta figure this bitch out. You
Yeah,
know?
like, yeah.
So I
Yeah.
get it. I don't know. He keeps being like, it doesn't seem fair that you're. Oh, this is the line that really got me. She's just explaining that she noticed that her mom was unhappy having to kind of be away from Phil, so she decided to move to Charlie's. And he says, "But now you're unhappy." And I challenged, "That doesn't seem fair."
Hasn't anyone told you life isn't fair? And he goes, I believe I had heard that somewhere before. And it's funny because obviously everyone has heard that, but again, I just keep thinking about the fact that he's
Oh,
so
he's so
fucking
fucking
old. So
old,
like
yeah.
he probably knows the guy who invented that.
Yeah. You
Old
put on a
ass.
good show, but I'd
Hmm.
be willing to bet that you're suffering more than you let anyone see. Hot.
Okay,
Caring.
therapist.
Okay, 100-year-old. But then also, this is more of her personality. I grimaced at him, resisting the impulse to stick out my tongue like a 5-year-old and looked away. Like, I wish there was a way to portray that in a movie because that's cute. Like, that's like
Yeah.
that is a teen girl like thing or impulse or whatever. They just have they have a cute interaction.
Yeah.
She gets a little annoyed, I feel like. She like sighs and he goes, Am I annoying to you? Not exactly. I'm more annoyed at myself.
My face is so easy to read. My mother always calls me her open book. He says, on the contrary, I find you very difficult to read. You must be a good reader then. Usually, he smiled. Oh man, just
Like, that's
thinking about,
charming.
yeah.
That's charming.
It's a really sexy moment. I feel like they're very intimate, especially, I mean, they both were the like only people that finished the lab so early, and
Smarty pants.
both the teacher and Mike come up to her and they're like, oh, like you let Edward do all the work? And she's like, bitch, I've done this before. Obviously, the teacher was like, oh, you did it with the whitefish spatula? And she was like, yeah. And for Mike, he was like, you're so lucky that you had Edward as a partner. She
You're
said,
lucky you had Cullen for a partner. Didn't I
yes.
say Edward? It's funny.
I didn't have any trouble with it, I said, stung by his assumption. I regretted the snub instantly. I've done this lab before, though. So it's funny because she keeps talking about how in a small town, like you have to be like diplomatic and like be just on everyone's good side, and she always catches herself sort of being a little snarky.
And he just is pissed that Edward's being nice to her because he has this big fat crush on her.
Yeah, and then she turns on her super loud truck and she sees Edward standing in the back of the parking lot and she's backing up and she almost hits this car and like she's super nervous and just super flustered like seeing him, and as she pulls away she says, I stared straight ahead as I passed the Volvo, but from a peripheral peak I swear I saw him laughing. And just that playfulness of he knows how nervous he makes her, but he's also so intrigued by her, which I'm sure is a first. So,
This chapter was like kind of boring, but necessary.
but necessary. I feel like the
The scene at the end was not boring.
yeah, the scene at the end really made up for a lot of the book, or sorry, the most of the chapter, a lot of the book really. Most of the chapter was just like, and then I made dinner, and then I went to class, and then I went shopping, and then I made dinner, and then I did the dishes. But I'm looking forward to chapter 3,
Chapter 3 is
Phenomena.
better. It's better. It's exciting.
I wanted to add a couple of things I added at the bottom of my notes. I have a confession. One, when I was younger, I broke some glass in my room, and then like I swept it up like pretty well, but there were still like teeny tiny little pieces.
And carpet.
I don't honestly remember. Like I feel like I remember having hardwood floors, so I'm a little confused like why. But I kept getting like these tiny little cuts on my ankle. Like it would be like one like little dot or like another.
Yeah.
I was convinced that I was turning into a vampire. I was getting bitten in the middle of the night. Like I don't know. This Twilight had me in I was brainwashed.
Yeah. Can I say something that I've actually been thinking about now that you say that?
Yes.
I think that shit like that is oldest child behavior.
Yes.
Because I was listening to some podcast and this girl was talking about like how she thought she was going to turn into a witch, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, when she was like 16. She believed it until she was like 21 or something. And I was like, if you had an older sibling when you were 8 years old to say, hey, you're a fucking idiot, you're not going to turn into a vampire, like you wouldn't believe. Like I just feel like
it is 100% oldest
I
child
didn't
behavior.
believe in like, okay, if you have children listening, which you shouldn't have children listening, but if you I believed in Santa Claus until I was like maybe 8 years old because my brothers were like, fuck you, Santa's not real. And then for my little sister, they were like, we need to preserve this. And I was like, fuck you.
I did find out that Santa was real because, or not, Santa is real. And I found out that he was real when I was 6 because I had a sleepwalking problem. And of course, I sleptwalked on Christmas Eve and saw Santa putting down the presents at the tree. But yeah, it is very much older child
really
behavior.
funny.
I had a similar thing with Incredibles. I was convinced that I was Elastigirl.
Oh, that's really funny.
I wanted to be like Violet, but I knew damn well that I could not be invisible. Like that's where like my imagination
You knew that
I was like,
it was
that's not fucking true.
possible.
But
Yeah,
I did ballet, and so I was flexible, and I was like, I'm Elastigirl. Oh my god.
And like you're growing every day, so you're like, my arm is bigger than it was yesterday.
Literally.
Because you're a child. It's really funny. What's your? You said you have some. You have a few things.
And yes, and then I have 1 or 2 quizzes. It is, which vampire movie are you?
Oh, okay.
Do you want to do one?
Yeah.
Question 1. You're chilling with the boys on a Friday evening. What are y'all drinking? Wine? I don't fuck with alcohol, give me water or something? Or rum? Those are your choices.
Wine.
Okay.
Maybe coconut rum, but not just rum.
Okay, this one has so many more options. Question 2 of 10. Okay, so while y'all enjoying those drinks, what activity are you actually partaking in on this fine evening? 1. Video game tournament with a betting pool of actual money. 2. Blogging off y'all's phones and laptop in separate corners of the room. 3. Trivia night. 4. Festivus, aka party where you air out your grievances about the people in the room with you right now. All of those words were capitalized. 5? What the fuck is it? Vinyl listening party plus some gossip / shooting the shit. Or last option, cult movie marathon plus discussion after each film.
I'm gonna go trivia night.
Fun.
Because I love like a trivia murder party, you know?
Trivia murder party. As the night goes on, you start to realize that your friend looks super fine. This shit is like bordering on non-platonic feelings here. What do you do about it? A. Acknowledge the feeling, laugh it off, and compliment your friend's outfit because they do look objectively good tonight. B. Nothing, it's probably just the alcohol / adrenaline talking. Or C. Freak out and ruminate on your feelings for the rest of the night, but you still don't tell your friend.
See, I think in like an ideal, so this is in a world.
Obviously, this is not in a world
okay.
where you're dating Charlie.
No. But like I think I would want to do A, but I think I would do C. You know, like I would want to go and like flirt and like, you know, whatever. but I'm gonna say C because I think I would just ruminate and not end up saying anything.
Pick an animal. Fox, owl, hyena, panther, wolf, or snake.
Panther.
Pick a rock group or artist. Queen, Guns N' Roses, Sparks, Alice Cooper, Aerosmith, or Led Zeppelin.
Queen.
Oh my god, this is also so long. Generally, how do you deal with conflict? Any conflict. 1. Ignore the issue for as... Do you want to answer, and then I'll just pick one?
I feel like when I deal with conflict, I avoid it at first, and then I wear my heart on my sleeve, so it has to be dealt with. It has to be dealt with at some point.
Well, that's funny because the first option is ignore the issue for as long as possible, then try to stamp out the problem out quick like a bug.
I feel like it's not quick like a bug. It's never quick. It's always lots of talking it out.
Try to resolve it calmly, and if that doesn't work, screaming matches are okay.
With my family, yeah.
Use your galaxy brain to get the job done. You're an intellectual for real. You can handle the situation.
You know, I'm gonna go first one, honestly.
Pick a color. Purple, blue, gray, black, orange, or red. I'm gonna say that you're gonna pick purple.
Yeah.
What spooky kids media franchise resonates with you the most? Goosebumps, Addams Family, Vampire Kisses, Cirque du Freak, The Little Vampire, or Scooby-Doo?
Oh, I loved The Little Vampire a little bit, and Scooby-Doo. That's what I watched all the time. Absolutely.
It's good stuff. Lastly, quick, pick a season. Spring, summer, fall, or winter.
Fall.
The vampire movie that you are, and maybe that you have to watch by next time that we, that will be your task. Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, I've heard that's good. I think I would like that one.
Yeah.
Can I ask what site this is from?
This is from UQuiz.
I thought it was like BuzzFeed.
No, this is like somebody created this. So thanks for partaking. Next time you can pick a better quiz. I did not go through it at all. This has been Twilight Tonight. Stay tuned for more. And
Twilight Tonight.
Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow. Bow, bow.
We really probably should keep it at 4 seconds. I don't want to get copied.
I don't think we will. I'm singing it with my own voice.
Okay.
I almost crashed my car between this recording and last recording. I almost crashed my car listening to that song. So I think I have the right to play it.
Okay. Bye.
I have to stop recording on my end. Bye.
If you like this episode, please leave a like and comment down below. And if you want to follow Edward and Bella's romance, please consider subscribing and follow Twilight Tonight for more episodes. And hey, thanks.